So here we are, yet another month. So it's a brand new month. Let's load up the game. We're gonna get ready to just talk about the game in general. And just as usual, all opinions are welcome for this particular
Nickelodeon
game.
All-Star
All-Star
Brawl.
Brawl. So it's a new month. Just waiting for a brand new update, a new character, or just something that they're working on. I'm not sure what's gonna be next for this game. We're getting closer and closer to the summer now. And June, what's the next month? June is next after May. We're not sure what's going to be the next character. It could be anybody. And just as I always like to start with, I'm just going to talk about some other things, outside of just talking about characters I want to see in the game or who I think is going to be in the game. This game needs more modes and different things to get into outside of just the arcade, which I already did everything in, and then just the online mode. And we were lacking that crossplay. Is crossplay going to be coming out this month, or at some point? It's a pose the question to everyone else. What do you guys think is going to be next? What's next for this game? How often do you guys play? And if anyone out there that's probably interested in playing this game, but let's just kick it back right now and just looking at everything on the screen. It seems as if there's going to be a SpongeBob character, but we haven't had an update since March, and we haven't had a character since February. So it just raises the question, are we going to get any more characters? There are already so many characters that's already supposed to be in the lineup for this game, and there's so much more that this game could get. And just from the image on and just the screen with Gary the snail, it just made me think it might be like a teaser of a SpongeBob character. Maybe it's going to be a 4 SpongeBob characters. Just quickly talk about the characters who I think is going to be in the game next. Could be a SpongeBob character, could be Jimmy Neutron, or maybe someone like Mr. Krabs, for example. Could be him, someone from SpongeBob universe, Jimmy Neutron, or Rocco. That's my top 3. If it's not a SpongeBob character, it's gotta be someone outside of the world of Nickelodeon, or maybe I want to say outside of the world of Nickelodeon, from being a third-party guest character, possibly. But I see that happening maybe in the near future, maybe as the game continues to grow and maybe get some momentum. Maybe I literally love playing this game. It's so much fun. I had so much fun just playing around against the computer, making up challenges and showdowns and handicap matches and Team SpongeBob versus Team Ren and Stimpy and the Louds versus the Ninja Turtles and the Clash. They can do stuff like that, and I'm going to get into that in this particular video today. Instead of just rambling about characters, I want to just talk more about the game itself and what they can do, even if crossplay is not ready. So those are just some of the characters I think it's possibly going to be. Just again, if it's got to be a SpongeBob character from the universe, or it could be someone for Rocco or Jimmy Neutron. Let's get somebody else in this game. Let's get some villains in this game, and we're just gonna bring up the little roster just to showcase it, because this is what we have in the game. We don't really have anyone else to really go upon as far as the roster. We got 2 villains, Shredder and Zim, if you want to consider him one. But everyone else outside of those 2, they're all protagonists. They're all heroic characters, or just the good guy, or the hero, or the main protagonist. That's you get to see their journeys. You get to see everything that they go through their adventures, and you get to be a part of it and watch them grow and be able to get stronger. Just like characters like Aang, and he meets different characters along the way, and many others that he has a close relationship with, and so much more. And heroes like Danny Phantom, who was not supposed to be, he was originally just some kid in school, and he didn't have the ghost powers that he did. He just so happened to accidentally gain the superpowers that he does, and he gets the abilities to save and protect the world, the real Earth of these villains. See what I'm saying? And when I see how I'm talking about all that with the backstory, these characters can have stories, and that's what I'm saying. They can add new modes and new features that can be in the game. Now, just even if crossplay is not ready, you can still have content in the game when crossplay is not ready. You can still just bring out more for people to pick and choose upon outside of the roster, just outside of the just playing around offline. Because even if you're not going to find anybody online, or not many, or you're limited to a select few players or whatever platform you choose to play on from your preference, you're still going to be able to have a chance to be able to have some fun and just things to do, and maybe come out with some unlockables, some challenges or something like that. But just from this mode, you just once I finished arcade, I was in battle mode most of the time because I wasn't online and I couldn't find many players. The extra playlist, you just got the gallery for photos, you got the moves, and then the jukebox where you can listen to the soundtrack. It's so much fun listening to the music. You just play on the favorite stage and you got replays and then the credits. That's it. There's nothing else really to get into and select from front of the menu. This menu could be a little bit expanded. See how this is all close up? They can expand the menu so the player can pick and choose what they want to play and play different modes. So I came up with a little bit of a different idea, some little new mode ideas, and maybe you guys can drop some ideas in the comments as well for some discussion. A showdown. So you see how I just keep on talking about showdowns? They could just do different things. Let's bring back the roster again, because there's only 3 different modes. You got sports. This is something unique, but this could be a little bit better, and then just more people to get into the game. I don't think many people plays the sports mode. How many of you guys play the sports mode? And if you guys are playing the offline mode, they're probably just gonna have stock. And stock is the most played, and then you just probably throw on a timer if you want to just really try to challenge yourself. But I don't really play the time mode. I don't really include the time mode or the timer for the time matches when I'm playing the game. So just go to the train, show the roster and stuff like that. You could still be able to pick the characters that you want to play and so much more. But I came up with an idea of showdowns, or showdown clashes, and similar to how maybe I'm thinking about Super Smash Bros. A little too much. See how the Super Smash Bros. Had the All-Star mode? You fight all the characters from the roster. They could do a little Nickelodeon or Nick showdown, or showdowns, or some kind of All-Star, or Clash, or some kind of different name. Clash mode, where you pick a character and you fight every single character part of the roster, and then you can unlock. See, even though it might be a little bit similar to the All-Star mode for Super Smash Bros. Because in All-Star mode, you fight all the characters that you have unlocked, and once you beat them, they turn into trophies. But then you don't have to fight them anymore. But you can have the different Clash mode or some kind of showdown mode for this game where you battle all the Nicktoons. It can just be in this little description. I can even really visually see it. Battle all the Nickelodeon characters of the main roster, or battle all the Nickelodeon characters in a challenging showdown where you only have a few lives, and then once you lose all your lives, you gotta start all over. See what I'm saying? So that you can come out with some kind of challenge mode for these characters so they can be able to. It's another new mode that can get introduced. So you start with SpongeBob or something like that, and then say you get through the challenge and you successfully completed the challenge mode or the class showdown or showdowns mode, or they can call it roster showdown. I'm just throwing out names out there. They can just come out with something like that with a new mode where you come out and you go into your favorite characters or whoever you like to meet. Since most of everybody just be liking Garfield and let's see, some other mains that I run into, Garfield online, whoever you favor the most from the roster, you could just take your favorite characters into that particular challenge mode and be able to beat all the characters, and you can adjust the difficulty. And then let's say if you, just what I was trying to say if you successfully beat that challenge mode with that character, you can get a new skin. You can get a new alternate costume, like SpongeBob's the Quister costume. That's the most wanted costume I want to see in this game. I think that's one of my favorites for SpongeBob. The elastic waistband, Miss Appear, so much more that you can add into the game that could be implemented, and the player can unlock stuff, and it gives them a reason to play the game, not because it's just a new mode, but they're going to unlock stuff. They're going to earn some kind of reward or get something out of it. So you get to have fun, and you can challenge yourself and play it on a harder difficulty and get more for beating that particular challenge mode, or Nick showdown mode, or a Nickelodeon showdown challenge mode, where you could be able to fight every single character on the roster. It can almost similarly sound like the arcade mode, but you're not fighting everybody on the roster. You're fighting like what, six to seven? I forgot how many characters you fight in the arcade mode. You get 6 to 7 different stages. You know what? I'm just gonna bring it up. let's go check it out and just go there real quick. Because I did everything. Let's just pick a character. We did everything on very hard difficulty and all the different characters. Just pick somebody random. Let's see. Let's take a look. So you get, take a look at the top of the screen. You got 3, 4, 5. You get 6 stages. So I was exactly on the money. So you get 6 stages. Just double check. You get 6 stages. You go from the selection, but you can be able to choose who you want to challenge. See, that's what's a little bit different from this arcade mode. You can pick your path. I think Super Smash Bros. Has something similar to it, but see how it's only 6 different characters. You see 6 different stages, and if say you're playing on a harder difficulty, it's not going to be as hard because you're just now starting out. Once you get further into the arcade, it's going to get more difficult when you're playing on the highest difficulty. See how it's only 6 stages? You can expand and go against like what, 20 characters, just 22 characters. You pick one character, you're gonna fight all 21 of the other remaining characters on the roster, or however many that's gonna get added in this game in the big challenge mode. And then you try to play your hardest, and you get like maybe 3 lives, or maybe you can only do it in 1 life. You could probably try to challenge yourself, and you can take away the number of lives that you get to start with. Go maybe 3 maximum on the hardest difficulty, or you could try to do it all in 1 life. See what I'm saying? So it might be something unique for the player. So you're not just playing, you're just fighting all these characters. It's almost like an extended, upgraded arcade, but you're gonna get another costume and get some rewards for those particular characters. And you can unlock music, you can unlock soundtracks from that particular stage, from that particular character's stage. See how I pick Cat Dog? Maybe I'll unlock a soundtrack to go with Cat Dog's house, which is the stage, the stage that relates to the character. You get a soundtrack and you get a costume or an alternate costume. And maybe if maybe to challenge the player a little bit more, you could probably get a costume playing it on the harder difficulty, and then you get a soundtrack playing it on the easier difficulty, and then you get something else that could be unlocked. See how they can really expand it? So that's just an idea. So I wanted to really just bring that up. So just for a little bit of a challenge mode, for a new mode, something like that for the player to get into, and then you expand. You're not just clicking on online or going to the local ballot. You can go to challenge. You can do these challenge modes to be able to unlock stuff. See how they can expand the game. There's so many different ideas that they can do to bring the player back into the game and wanting to come back, and you do those challenges, and they can even unlock, maybe add in additional trophies for the game, for those challenge mode trophies to coincide with the new feature or the new mode. So you complete it with all characters, and you get a trophy, an additional bonus trophy, like a gold trophy or something like that. And then with a certain amount of characters and more, you can get trophies with specific characters and more, and maybe beating it in a certain amount of time. See, in the beat the clock challenge, but you got that for arcade, so they added that for a little bit of a speed run. If you guys didn't see that, but you could just try to challenge yourself then. See how they did that? But now you don't really need to do that. You could just add more modes like the one I just described. I think that'll be a fun mode for people to get into and be interested in for this game. And it's 22 characters. It's so much more you can do with the game outside of just adding a new character. It could just be more than that, because when the character comes out, just like I said before, you're gonna probably take them online. More than likely, you're just gonna head to training. You're gonna head to training, see what they can do, he or she can do. Go to arcade, complete it, take the character online, and then after that, you're gonna be a lot of options of what to do, because there's not many modes to really select from for the player to be able to get into with that brand new character. And then you might check out the new stage, of course, because you're just gonna pick that right off the bat. So I just really think it's a good idea for a new mode, and they don't really need like a home run contest or anything like that. But I just think something with Clash, or just battling the whole roster. I don't know. They could do All-Star Brawl. They can do that for. I'm just thinking of different names, trying to think of different names that can make it sound cool. But it can be called anything. If it's a new mode, people are gonna check it out. It's a new feature. So even with crossplay, might be taking a little bit longer. You can come out with modes like that with a character, a brand new character, and then so much more to be included with the patches, and then some with brand new unlockable costumes that the player can earn with their favorite Nickelodeon characters. Not just giving it to them free, you can just have them unlock it, even if it's not behind a paywall or paid DLC for an alternate costume. You can have the player unlock Leonardo skin, a new Leonardo skin, Danny Phantom, Red Tar Sandy, and SpongeBob, and so much more of some of their favorite characters they favor in this game from this roster. So I don't know what you guys think about that. Some unlockables, a challenge mode, alternate, just being able to adjust the difficulty with unlockable alternate costumes. I think that'll be really cool, and people want to play this game. Maybe they'll even want to purchase the game, even without crossplay. They'll be probably willing to wait a little bit longer with new features, new modes, and unlockables and rewards for the player to choose and select from. Because we already got CPU versus CPU. They can also slip in that local multiplayer where you and a buddy can get online. I already mentioned this before. This is something else that can be added onto the game, so you can also have a better chance of going against a player or finding someone on your particular platform where you have so much difficulty trying to find somebody online. So the local multiplayer, you and someone else can get online to try to find someone, and you can battle them, and it can open up the doors to 3-player, 4-player lobbies for 2v2s. You can't even do teams. I don't think you could do teams online. They could do team mode. They could do another team mode, team online, where you can team up with another player. But they don't have that. Can we get it to load? See, you got competitive play. This is all 1v1s, but you can adjust the rules when you make a custom lobby. Lobbies. But with not many people online, you're just gonna see this screen quite often, regardless of what you play on. But you could still be able to bring more people onto the game to get into it. So I'm curious to see what you guys think. Some characters y'all want to see, some new modes. Let's start talking about some new modes and new features for this game outside of the character. Maybe some more ideas that you guys can dish out in the comments, and start talking more about this game. It's so much fun, and so I love playing it, messing around against these other characters, offline, laughing and making noises, and just having fun and creating my own fun with the game. But we need some kind of update. And just even with crossplay, you can still add more to the game for the player to get into, even if crossplay might be taking a little bit longer, or maybe it'll come out later on in the year if it got pushed back. But it's going to be a lot easier to find players, and more people will probably be more interested in purchasing the game. But it's so much fun, and they can make more fun from just other modes, even with crossplay not being at the ready.